Hello and welcome to today's historic best of 3 deck tech and gameplay video on 5 color slivers, basically. Slivers are a tribe that's relatively old in Magic, and slivers, I guess a gimmick if you want to call it that, is that they will give other slivers certain abilities. And the big boy sliver here, First Sliver, is a good example of this, besides being a pretty good, a 5-mana 7/7 with Cascade, gives other slivers Cascade. You can see what Cascade does here. Or your other slivers do things like give power buffs, or let you drain for 1, or certain changelings like this that can be slivers. Can let you draw slivers off the top, or give them menace, or flying and haste, or buff them, or let them do countless things. So our goal is to use our sliver synergy here to just build a good little increasing ramp of exponential value and a pretty scary board in the process. We have a couple of little weird cards in here. Fauna Shamans are pretty good for getting rid of shamans that aren't particularly useful in whatever circumstance you happen to be in, and finding one you might need. We also have copies of the old Paradiso Druid as another way to fix, since being 5 colors we want to have pretty reliable access to most, of the colors we need. Blue being the least of which, though, since we only have Diffusion Sliver and the First Sliver itself. And you can also see we have Umori the Collector as our companion here, since in order for slivers to work, you need a sort of critical mass of slivers for the deck to really function. And since I anecdotally never really see Umori, I figured it'd be a good opportunity to use a very seldom used companion, and one of the ones that nobody really thinks is terribly overpowered. Other than that, yeah, we're just looking to play a whole bunch of slivers at various points along the curve and do silly degenerate things. Our mana base is a little wonky, but again, a 5-color one requires that. Some triomes for fixing, and some draw if we need it. A world tree for fixing. The god part doesn't matter because we don't really have a god in the deck. Ancient Ziggurat, since we're all creatures in our deck, we can afford to use the Ancient Ziggurat pretty freely. Sliver Hive to both color fix for slivers and to give you something to do with your mana should you happen to flood, in the form of just making slivers every turn. Unclaimed Territory, fixing for slivers. Some pathways for some flexible mana, and a single forest because we do have a couple of green cards that aren't slivers. Sideboard, besides Umori being in there. Since we are a Umori deck, we want to keep Umori in our sideboard phase, so we have to use creature-only strategies for our sideboard. Guardian of Faith is more practically functions as a wrath protector or a removal protector, since you can't really run things like Heroic Intervention or cards like that. Guardian of Faith does honestly a very good impression of it, and can also just be a okay creature if you need it. Rampaging Ferocidon for life gain and token hate, since like your Heliod Squirrel infinite combo thing. Some Knights of Autumn usually for some artifact or enchantment hate, but can also be some life gain. Containment Priest for like weird graveyard shenanigans, or also token generation stuff. Meddling Mage if you're worried about particular combo cards. Prowling Serpapod, since there's a lot of memory lapses coming around. Prowling Serpapod allows you to make sure your slivers actually hit the board. And that is 5 color slivers. We'll go ahead and go in now to game number 1. And game number 1 with our 5 color slivers deck. 3 lands, some color fixing, some creatures to play. Yeah, we'll go ahead and keep it. It's not great, but it's good enough that we're not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. Sacred Foundry into Grim Initiates. Alright. We'll just do Sliver Hive, turn 1. I think we'll do a Lavabelly Sliver on turn 3 to regain some of our life. The Grim Initiate attacks. No lands. Nope, a White Source and a Seasoned Power Blade. So it could be just like a red-white aggro, maybe warrior. Anywho, this is gonna seem silly, but we're actually gonna use the Unclaimed Territory naming elf. We really want to get our Paradise Druid down, and since both Paradise Druid and the Fauna Shaman from earlier are both elves, you can name elf and get the fixing you need regardless. I know this looks crazy, and to a degree, I suppose it is. Let's see, another Foundry from our opponent. We're just going to go ahead and eat the damage here. Also might get more of an insight into what our opponent is trying to do. So, another... This has to be like warrior or something, right? Anywho, we'll do a red... Yeah, we'll do red. We'll go ahead and Lavabelly Sliver. Try and get some incidental life gain back where we can manage it. Let's see, a Grim Initiate, a Seasoned Hollow Blade, and a Fire Blade Charger. So this might be Warrior Tribal, or maybe a Warrior Tribal with some equipment stuff going on. Maybe just, you know, red-white, I beat you down with dudes. Would not be the most surprising. We'll go ahead and... Oh, God. What are we getting hit with here? 3 mana. So he shouldn't be able to equip... I'm going to actually let this through. He shouldn't be able to equip Embercleave, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong and misremember the mana cost. Okay, that's not awful. We can do something with that. Force is pretty nice. I guess we can do First Sliver's Chosen, just try and spend all of our mana. Getting some life gain from our Lavabelly. I think we're gonna not attack. We'll chump block with the Chosen if we need to. We'll go ahead and do you blocking you. Or, yeah, First Sliver blocking the Grim Initiate. Okay, so he's got to have some hammer time nonsense going on. Okay, a Triome is a land. It's my fault for not properly expressing what I meant. I guess we'll find Realmwalker. Or we'll play Realmwalker, get some life gain back. Maybe find a Sliver off the top? It's a Fauna Shaman, that's not that useful. Go ahead and just not attack. Next turn we can... We should be able to get all of our colors, right? Red, green... These two fix. That's the blue for the Sliver. Nope, we can't block with the Paradise Druid because we named Elf. Okay, so we'll do blocking the Fire Blade Charger. Season Hollow Blade hitting us for 4 is not the worst. It's one of those we can do something about that and be alright. Okay, Resolute Strike. Moves it over. That's okay. We're not dead. Go ahead and First Sliver now. Don't know what we find that saves us, but that's not it. That's certainly not it. Okay, we should be able to... Okay, we might be able to live. That's not fair. We might be able to live here. We can always block with the First Sliver and a Paradise Druid. Showdown of the Skulls, that's a little rough, which aren't usually going to be able to play what you find. Fighter class. Okay, so it's like red-white fighter class. Okay, that's sort of what I had in my head. I'm into it, though. I'm interested. If he attacks with the Charger, we take the trade all day. He might kill our Lavabelly Sliver, which would be really, really bad. Okay, then he deals 4 damage, probably to the First Sliver. That is... I'm sorry, I must say, that's the wrong play. Get rid of the thing with Cascade. Okay, so our opponent is playing some... red-white fighter class. I guess that's the question of... what do we bring in, if anything? I guess Knights of Autumn wouldn't be the worst. So maybe we get some Knights of Autumn in here. We probably... well... we can get rid of some of the extras. The Leeching Sliver is not that useful. Predatory is not going to do you a whole lot. Probably... Cleaving Sliver is honestly not the best. I think we have to transition into a more controlling gameplay here. Our game plan here. But I think we can, much like this first game, if we just sit and wait and turn the corner on the aggro deck, as is the correct play against pretty much all aggro decks, we should be able to come out again on top. Our opponent is really in the tank sideboarding. But I don't know what... I mean, there are cards you can bring in red and white. But, I mean, you wouldn't super want to bring in sweepers. So I'm assuming they're not bringing in sweepers, since they themselves are a very heavy board-based strategy. And as long as we don't, like, walk straight into some devastating Settle the Wreckage, which is, like, the sweeper of choice for aggro decks in white, we should be okay, I think. So I'm feeling pretty good about this game. Again, our opponent will likely go first because they have a brain in their skull. This is an okay hand. 2 lands and things to do. Color fixing with a druid. We can do this. We can do this. That's not bad. So we can try on 1 since we don't really have a turn 1 play we're going to do anyway. And we got the First Sliver, which is nice. Next turn, we'll play our Pathway for green and play a Paradise Druid. Okay, Fighter class. Enters the battlefield. Search for an equipment. Reveal it in your hand. It's 2 cheaper to equip. And then whenever creature you control attacks, up to 1 target creature. So it makes a block happen. Okay, that's fine. Stick to the original plan, just Paradise Druid and pass. Perks about the Paradise Druid having hexproof is that it should manage to skate most forms of removal. Ooh, that's not very good. So we could do Manaweft. That's gonna pardon my French, but that's gonna fucking suck. So we'll go ahead and Diffusion Sliver here. They are gonna equip the Sword of Body and Mind, which actually, now that I think about it, there's not really a good block here. Since the fuck? Okay, I was like, pardon me, sir. But since it's pro blue and green, I can't block it right now anyway. Oh, that's that's really bad. Oh, it's got double strike. That's right. Did we just lose? Might have. That is unfortunate. That is a green card. It's not really what we want. Does it have trample? Doesn't have trample, so we got that going for us, I guess. We can go ahead and attack with the Sliver. The Striking Sliver has to block the Grim Initiate, otherwise we actually die. Okay, that's a thing that happens. Go ahead and kill both of them. I'd be very surprised if they had a removal spell that we need to worry about. Okay, so he is not to level 3 yet, so he can't make a weird block happen. Okay. Planes from our opponent. Grim Initiate attacks. The old Striking Sliver has to block, otherwise life is going to be real rough. Now, first strike... Okay, yeah, he shouldn't get the double strike part because I blocked with a first striker. 2 less, so I'm assuming he's moving it over to the blade mat. Yeah, blade mat. Just die. Alright, opponent. Well, that's not good either. Fuck. So I believe we'll do Lancer Sliver first. This way we can kinda block a little bit. But Cloudshredder might just let us win if we play this right. We don't have any more one-costers, so it's just going to cycle through the deck. Let's see, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 17. That's actually not enough, which is annoying as fuck. Is there any way we get through this? Hang on, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, 18. Not quite. Well. Okay, no, that's actually not the worst. I can do something with this. We're going to go ahead and attack. Now. We're not going to attack. God, I want to, but we're not going to. Okay, so you can Colossus Hammer. You can make a thing block, but I promise you we were going to block already. Don't move that over to there. Oh, it has haste if it's equipped. Never mind, that's right. Okay, protection from blue and green. So we can block with the Lancer Sliver. He might kill the Cloud Breaker, whatever it's called. But we are alive, so there's that. Okay. I don't think there's anything we can do with the mana, so we're not going to bother to tap it. Okay, we're alive another turn. That's something. Okay, Ancient Ziggurat. We'll go ahead and do First Sliver's Chosen. Find something particularly good. That'll do. Out of Autumn, destroy target thing. Get rid of the Sword of Body and Mind. That card is the worst. I guess we just attack with the First Sliver now, because we're feeling way better. And the First Sliver's Chosen, giving all of our Slivers Exalted, means that now we can sort of just poke through with one, hopefully get them to lower their guard. I'm not going to attack, however, because I don't want to just invite that misery into my life. Opponent still stuck on 4 lands, though. That's not too bad. Seasoned Hollow Blade, a pretty nice, resilient threat. Is there any other really good... we can go ahead and play the Blair Sliver, it's fine. Let's see... Ooh, Dregscape. Very nice. And there's no other one-cost thing, so it has to go through. So we can go ahead and bring back the Cloudshredder Sliver to our hand. At which point, we'll probably just tap. There we go. Good game. Yeah! Thank God for the toolbox ability of Slivers. That was a pretty good game. Now we'll go on to game number 2. And game number 2 with our 5-color Slivers deck. We'll go ahead and play first because we have a brain. Ooh, 3 lands, some color fixing, a couple Slivers. That's pretty good. And also, for you keen-eyed viewers amongst you, I did just get the cool little Jailery dude. I thought he was kind of cute. And I haven't gotten a new pet in a long time that I actually like, really enjoy using. Anywho. We'll probably Paradise Druid on turn 2, since it's probably the most useful thing. Get some color fixing. Also, if we play another Ancient Ziggurat and play the Paradise Druid, one does not fully know what we're playing. Of course, they'll know it's creatures due to our Umori the Collector, forcing the, what's the word? The restriction of one permanent type. See, a blue and a white from our opponent. Am I going against some Control-Eoli BS, or what's going on here? Oh, I'd be very surprised if we weren't. We'll go ahead and name Slivers. Get the old Manaweft. We'll go ahead and wait. They're sitting on some instant speed interaction, and they didn't counter my spell. Unsummon, alright. That does kind of suck, to be entirely honest. Just an OG unsummon? Alright. That's unusual, but not unwelcome. Alright, Foretold card. That would be nice. We'll go ahead and play the Leeching Sliver. Since there's a real chance they have, like, a... what's the Foretell Sweeper? Doomscar. We don't want to walk too heavily into the Sweeper. Hopefully make them fire it off before our board state gets really scary. Oh, Behold the Multiverse. Never mind that. That was the card they foretold. Good looking. Didn't find a land, or they auto-passed through it, but that would be silly. Oh, discarding. Okay. Okay, we can go ahead and Lavabelly Sliver. Ping our opponent. We'll use the Paradise Druid to play a Steelform Sliver, and then just attack with a group. Next turn, we might Fauna Shaman, maybe put Umori into our hand. Again, they could have another Sweeper, so we should probably be a little careful here. So maybe this turn we'll just put old Umori into our hand here and figure out, or try to discern what they're playing. Unless sometimes you just draw the first sliver, like a boss. Go ahead and play the first sliver. Might very well get countered, which I wouldn't be the most surprised about. A Realmwalker's nice. Of course, we Realmwalker, naming Slivers. Getting some more card selection. Ooh, very nice. And the first sliver itself, if you're going to counter it, or something, now's the time. We will go ahead and, let's see, we're losing 1, 2, 3 to get another 1 damage and then 2 across the board. Okay. We'll go ahead and tap the Leeching Sliver for a mana then in response. We can go ahead and Leeching Sliver again. And there's no other thing lesser than 1 mana, so it's just cycling through as a formality. Go ahead and ping our opponent some. And then, let's see, does that kill our opponent here? Doesn't quite kill him, but they're hurting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, we're good. Doesn't quite kill them, but they are hurting for certain. There's the Doomscar. We're not the most upset about that, since now we can just play a Realmwalker. Leeching Sliver again. And we just kind of start out. Oh, it's on the top! So we'll go ahead and play the Fauna Shaman out now just to apply some pressure. Force them to have more removal. Or like another Doom Scar or some sweeper. Now I have 5 mana. So they can cast the Doom Scar for its full cost. See what our opponent's doing. Try not to be too terribly rude. Good game. Do you have a removal spell for the... Ah! Okay, that technically will save you for a turn. We'll go ahead and cast another First Sliver. One of the reasons why we have 4 of these bad boys. This should kill him, right? Our Lavabelly enters first. We drain them for 1. First Sliver enters. Drain them for 2. Alright! Bang, 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 bang! Let's see. Our opponent appears to be playing some sort of, like, blue-white control, which is fine. Maybe some Guardians of Faith and some Serpopods here? The Steelforms probably... Steelform and Lancer Slivers are not the most useful, since I don't think much combat's going to happen. Maybe get rid of 1 Cleaving Sliver, and then maybe 1 Leeching Sliver. The perks of running Slivers and having all of the extra copies is that sideboarding can be as simple as just taking out some of the extras of your existing Slivers and adding in whatever sideboard cards you happen to need. Since Fauna Shaman can sort of function as additional card draw, since we aren't going to be able to find any of our sideboarded cards, since they're not Slivers, we can, however, find them with cards like a Fauna Shaman. That's pretty good, honestly. Spirit Knight, Elf Shaman, Elf Druid. The quality of our color fixing, or the efficiency of our color fixing, I should say, goes down, honestly, kind of dramatically. We'll go ahead and unclaim naming the Elf, however. Again, it dilutes our ability to fix for Slivers, but the Elves are kind of our glue right now, roughly holding this hand together. Actually, I didn't mean to put out your lantern. Sorry. Yeah, there you go, dude. We'll go ahead and Sliver Hive this turn. Probably need to play the Paradise Druid. Try and somewhat alleviate some problems here. Big question is, what do we do next turn? Oh, that's not helpful at all. I guess we can play a Fauna Shaman here. Maybe next turn, if we don't draw a land, we can start chucking some stuff to look for the Mana Sliver, whose name escapes me. Although our opponent could have a counterspell. They are waiting. Mystical Dispute will do it. We're not going to attack since I don't want to lose this Paradise Druid, since again, it's really the only thing kind of keeping this bad boy together. 4th land from our opponent. We're running dry, which is lovely. Another Paradise Druid honestly helps a lot. I prefer an actual land, but Paradise Druid will do in a pinch. Again, don't want to attack since we don't want to invite removal spells. We want to maintain the hexproof for as long as we can. Okay, it's not really being the most helpful here, game. We'll go ahead and do a Realmwalker, I suppose. We'll just Realmwalker naming Sliver, hopefully get some card advantage off the top. Or at least see what's on top. Another Mystical Dispute is a little rough. I guess we'll just play a Striking Sliver. If they have a 5-mana Doom Scar now, our life is misery and pain regardless. What is that island? That's a very pretty island. Okay, give me a land. That's not a land game. You're kind of screwing me here. But you know what? I can, at least in the meantime, I can just start poking away with the Striking Sliver. Till old Lady Luck decides to grace me with another land. Maybe we can actually get things started. Attacking like this, however, though, does allow us to have a Guardian of Faith, should we need it, for some sort of ensuing board wipe. Again, we're going to just let that bounce happen. It's not worth losing what little color fixing we do have. I would be very surprised if you played the Sweeper after playing the Brazen Borrower, however. And they are sitting on a buttload of counter spells. This does not feel good. What are they doing? Land, please. That's not a fucking land. Okay. Guess we can play the Striking Sliver, and again... sometimes you just, you know... run dry, I guess. If they happen to counter this one, it's not the biggest thing on the planet. This just gives us something to do with our mana. Counter target spell, create a token that's a copy, target player draws a card. Cool. Oh, you piece of crap, I swear to God. Give me a land. If we don't get a land next turn, we're just gonna scoop. Since odds are nothing I'm going to cast will actually resolve now. Give me a land. Give me a land. Alright, that's a land. This... oh, that's elf, right. That's what got named. Guess... honestly, we're so far behind. Even with the land, actually, it doesn't kind of matter. We'll just go on to the last game and hopefully not run dry or flood. Although this deck is a little more capable of, like, being alright with flooding with the Sliver Hives to create little slivers with our excess mana, or even just, you know, putting the Umori into our hand and playing it is an okay thing to do with your mana. Okay, this is better. I can do something with this. We can actually name Sliver with our Unclaimed Territory, which is nice. Go ahead and play a Ziggurat first. Yeah, we'll play. I forgot we have the Striking Sliver in hand. We can totally do that. Next turn, it will likely be the Manaweft Sliver, since we enjoy that sweet, sweet color fixing. Fabled Passage from our opponent, Filing of Plains. Paradise Druid's nice. Still gonna keep with the Manaweft Sliver plan. See what happens next turn. We can go ahead and play this on red, I guess. We can play a Paradise Druid, and then play a Cloudshredder Sliver. Go ahead and attack for a couple. Admittedly, we could have just walked straight into a $1 million sweeper, which is an option. Kind of like that. But honestly, we're kind of okay. We'll go ahead and play a Fauna Shaman. I just never realized we don't have a green mana to actually activate the Fauna Shaman's ability. Pardon. What? Our counter. I mean, alright, that's certainly not what I expected, but it'll do. Is it both players' graveyards? Shuffle. Oh, your hand in graveyard. Okay, it's not both. Go ahead and start pinging away with the Fauna Shaman. That's a hell of a tech choice, but alright. Do what you gotta. Sorry, fumigate? Like, alright. What you gotta do, I guess. Go ahead and play Predatory Sliver. If we can just draw like a non-ancient Zigger out, we can always put the Umori into our hand next turn. Okay, it's my fault. I didn't specify an untapped land. That's on me for not specifying. Guess he's putting hour counters on it. That's... Alright! That is fascinating as hell to me. I mean... Alright, I guess. We'd go ahead and put Umori into our hand. We'll cast the Diffusion Sliver, even though I don't think they're probably going to have a whole bunch of target removal. It's something that's just kind of still worth it to just have in a general sense in the deck. Alright. That's a thing you can do. Assuming mana gets tapped appropriately, I should be able to play Umori and a Predatory Sliver next turn. I think it's the... We need the, probably the green, honestly. It's the 12th counter, right? Yeah. So we'll Umori. This could very well get countered, and that's fine. Umori is not, like, central to the game plan. Yeah, it's just nice to have. Rest of our mana, gonna try a Predatory Sliver. This can get countered too. Although, most importantly, they're not really adding to the board. Like, yeah, you're doing a lot of, like, stuff. And you have a full hand, which is, like, admittedly not ideal. But, like, I'm not, like, in fear of dying, you know? That'll do it, though. That's kind of good for that. I think we can come back from this. But boy, oh boy, we don't get many turns to do it. That's not what we needed. Oh, yeah. Oh, I forgot. I love Cure, Best to See God. That card is so cool. But I think we can do this. Can control target opponent. An opponent controls. Which is really, really bad. Slivers. That fucking sucks. Yeah, we'll pay. Yeah, I'll totally pay. Okay, so I'm not... Well, hang on. If he takes the thing... Okay, we're gonna... Is it permanent that you can gain control of it? Okay. So... Weirdly... I don't know if we... I don't think we win, but like... Having a Sliver Queen... Or First Sliver, sorry. Wrong one. Having the First Sliver on the top... Could it kind of give us an out here? Admittedly, this is very dependent on how our opponent's turn goes. Okay, I chump block for days. Yeah, all day long. It's not even close. Totally chump block. I don't give a shit. Yeah, we lose haste for our First Sliver, but we don't die. Go ahead. Yep, First Sliver. I mean, honestly, even if we hit like a Paradise Druid or a Fauna Shaman, it is a thing to block with. Unless they counter it. They're digging. If they find the counter, I'm just scooping because there's no recovering after that. Okay. Probably has the counter spell. Good game. Our opponent just beat it. Well, hang on. That's... Maybe. This video is admittedly going much longer than I originally expected. But you know what? I'm going to try and be a good boy and play to my outs here. Again, block the old sea monster. Don't know if it's going to terribly matter. Okay, we can... First Sliver's chosen. Manaweft Sliver. I mean, they have, it's giving them priority, but it's also just giving them priority for power counters. Okay, so he attacks with a 3, go to 5, go to 6, unless he plays another thing here. So yeah, again, we just kind of block the old Kraken or whatever it is. That's Kraken. Hope against all hope. That is not enough. Good game from our opponent. We'll go ahead and play this out just to show them what we had in our hand. And that'll be all for today's video. Thank you all for watching. I hope that I did some at least I hope I somewhat showed you that Slivers can be a lot of fun and can win you games, actually. And it's far better against more controlling decks than you would think. Of course, there are weird moments like that where sometimes they have all the counters and you don't have your Serpapod, but you can't win them all. Anywho, thank you all for watching. Remember to like the video if you liked it, sub if you like me, and if you have any sort of questions about, say, replacements or what have you, that's what comments are for down below. Thank you all, and have a great day.